Thank you, Hamashiach, Shiloh, for being able to stand without vengeance. Men who brought guns are going to have to be accountable. Thank you, Father. Even if they get away with it in this lifetime, you wrote it that way. They'll all face judgments. All of us. Not in the sky, but the seventh shofar, the final trump. So thank you, Father Most High, for the cosmos, the orderly arrangements. This is all after your counsel. You are my counsel. So nothing without your counsel. Not without that. So thank you, Father, for that being my counsel through Shiloh, not through vengeance, through meek, not weak. So got the icing on the cake, the cherry on the top there today. So thank you, Father, for the ability to stand in meek, not weak, that you'll carry me into the very last day tomorrow to trial. So pretty weak sauce. They're watching you. Fuck Lake County. Stupid pigs. Got a call from the attorney that they're watching. The pigs are watching. It's in their discovery. So, what a bunch of clowns, man. They could be looking for my son. Instead, they're calling the district attorney saying, he's on YouTube live streaming saying, yeah, calling my attorney saying, he's complaining about you. What a bunch of, that's pretty lame there. Josh Bezel, are you watching? Bezel, Sam Birch, Lance Brown. You should be there tomorrow, Lance Brown. Will I see you tomorrow, Lance Brown? I'm going to go after your bond, Lance Brown. Sam Birch. Bezel, the headlight. I want to check your cellular data. I'm going to take Josh Bezel to federal court, appellate court. So you watching, Josh? You watching Lake County? I told you guys they watch this channel in their discovery. I got a call from the attorney today saying the cops are watching you. They called the district attorney, right? And said, hey, he's on YouTube complaining his attorney isn't doing his job. How about that for their case? Their discovery. So how about manifest? Paul, remember Paul, my prior attorney? You better be accountable for that. How about that call to Josephine County that he never called to get that CAD call? Josephine County knows where my son is at. They're the last accountable. I told my attorney, John Caligo, today, who will be there tomorrow. Are you watching again, Lake County? I'm going after your bonds. I told John today, you guys have forgotten I have the right appellate court, the right to appeal. If you wrongfully convict me, which is already wrongful, manifest necessity, Dave Vandenberg, you better. I told John today, you're corrupt. You called Paul Palmer, trying to strong arm me, telling this guy won't take a deal. So we'll take it to trial tomorrow. If you take it to trial, I told John that is a mistrial, wrongful conviction. Even if I beat the case, and I'm gonna, because that's what John said. He said, they're calling saying you're complaining about, I said, John, I have not called witness. Where's my son? Where's my daughter? They need to be there. If the state's going to call evidence against me, I have the right to face my accuser. The right of due process has been, they grenaded my son and daughter. I reminded to John that they kidnapped my daughter today. You know, without a warrant. That's 25 years for every one of these state police and Lake County. You watching Lake County? Yeah, that's a kidnapping. Remember, you kidnapped Adriana. You signed on with, I said, I'm going to bring Ted Martin back out of his retirement. He's the one who signed the swap warrant for this house, this ministry, to blow all these windows out the front of the house and grenade me in the face. I reminded John that they grenaded Adriana and my son Elijah. That's how I came in here. Failed the right of due process. So that's a civil matter, but that's what it is. So Lake County's watching. Fuck you, Lake County. Go look for my son. Go talk to Josephine County. Like I asked my attorney today, why have you not called to get the CAD call about my son? That's a violation. That's a violation to call for service. 40 pounds plus gold, plus the passport. I said my daughter was murdered. I said I have this all on video, live stream, so I ain't playing. Backs against the wall, Lake County. Better drop this case. I'm giving you the absolute what you can. Judge Vanderburg, Dave Vanderburg, I told you in court, you're going to prison. So as they report to you there, Paul Charis, the district attorney, you better remind Dave that he called Pat Wilkie. And I told Dave, right, Vanderburg called Pat Wilkie to try. Why you try to strong arm me? Remember in court, I have that recorded, that you actually said that you're going to throw me in jail. I told my attorney today that the judge, seated judge, this is a right, remember, I told everybody already, you guys already did videos on this channel. Change of venue. I can't get a fair trial. I can't even get witnesses in my favor. Call witness in my favor. That's my Sixth Amendment right. The right of due process. Remember all these rights, Fourth and Fifth Amendments, Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment, the right to fair trial, speedy trial, call witness, evidence, can't suppress evidence or call into discovery, can't suppress evidence, discovery at trial. Where is my son? I said to John today. I ain't playing. Backs against the wall, Lake County. You said you're in here and you reported to the district attorney that you're watching me. So you better get a hold. I said you better drop Elijah's charges too. Because I'm not taking a deal. Hell no. Even if you wrongfully convict me, I have the right of appeal. And everybody's watching. I don't care if you think they're not. They are. Father's watching me. So he's got my back. Remember, you sent 25 men with guns to try to kill me. You shot my son with his hands over his head. Civil court. I'm going to take this county to civil court and the state of Oregon. They took me to, brothers, sisters, you were my witness that I said I wasn't. I've waited. No more waiting. Even if they convict me, I reminded John today, I'll get out one day, John, I'm continuing. Where is Elijah? I'm tired of this shit. You can't manifest necessity. Dave Vanderburg, they're going to report back to you today, I'm sure, in their Paul Chars. That means that you can let me out of this right now, and you better let Elijah, you better get gold to John. I don't even want to drive there, but I will tomorrow, and if you think you can convict me, go ahead, put me in your jail again. But remember, I still have at my federal appellate court trial. I had somebody today that talked to, they're like, they just went through the whole they served 2 years, but they beat it at the appellate court. They're like, dude, you can't look for your son if you put yourself in front of it. Just take that misdemeanor and no supervised. No, I'm going civil court because I reminded my attorney today, when I beat this case, that's a wrongful conviction. I'm going to file the civil court case. They forced me. You watched, brothers, sisters. I did not. I'll wait till after tomorrow, and then I will, because it was never about money. It's not about money. Now it's about accountability. Josh Bezel, are you watching right now? Sam Birch, are you watching right now? Are you watching? Dave Vanderburg, are you watching? Paul Charis, are you watching this video? You have right now, you're out. I'm giving you the out. Manifest necessity gives you the right to drop this. You, Dave Vanderburg, are the judge. You, Dave Vanderburg, can drop this under you, because really, Paul Charis, I know what's going on. You can drop this right now. I better get a call in the morning, a.m., because somebody's going to wake up. And they're going to be a morning. Yes, that you dropped it because of manifest necessity, because you can't produce my witnesses. Even I reminded my attorney today that you have to have Elijah there. That's to call witness in my favor. There's no evidence. He said, we don't need evidence. We have all the evidence. They already violated my rights. They have no evidence. The state has the burden of proof, preponderance of evidence. Even before, he's going to remind the jury, every one of them, that he's not guilty. He has no record. You, the state, has the burden of proof to prove that he's, and they can't, because they can't call witness. That's a manifest necessity. The judge can drop this before I even go face. and sit in front of that. I don't want to do that. I don't even want to do that. They better drop it in the morning, brothers, sisters. Remember, I reminded the attorney today, Dave, remember, Dave, are you listening there? Paul, are you listening there? Which one are you listening? Which one of you they're reporting back to? What a weak sauce. Where is Elijah? Where is Adriana? You can't produce Adriana or Elijah, so you don't have a case. That's what I reminded. Apologize. It's my militant in me. Attention to detail. I haven't forgot anything in this case. So don't say that, Justin. Or I'll take your wrench away and number 10, socket your ass, because I have what is called a civil right to file that case, as well as go after their bond. So they will be held accountable. And if they don't, they will. So fuck you, Justin. Fuck off. They will after judgment, right? The final. Get out of here. You don't carry the wrench. You're to carry it properly. I'll throw your number 10 socket your ass right out of here. They will be accountable. Even if they get away with it in this flesh, Father will judge them at the 7th horn. Anything else you got to say there, Justin? Time delivery system, right on time. So step up to the mic. You don't think they'll hold me accountable? Yes, they will. Everybody, Father made them do it. Let's go back to the gospel. Hold off there, Josh, Sam, Tom, Rourke, going after him too, Ted Martin and Marshall. So Justin, step up. What do you mean they won't hold me accountable? That's blasphemy. Let's go back to the word, because the word comes first with your phileo. Remember, nobody's going to escape judgments there, Justin. Speak up, Justin. Hello, Justin. I'm going to take your wrench from you if you can't speak up. Words per minute. How many you got? I do this by the number. What do you mean they will not held be accountable? Okay, well, don't say they won't, because that's blasphemy. They will be held accountable, so your words are blasphemy. I'm putting you through a refiner's fire. Don't jot. They will be held accountable at the last trump. Correct? Can you be corrected? Or are you an ass, Justin? I'll throw your number 10 socket loser. Yep, you'll be gone and you'll be dust in the wind. Okay, thank you. Moving on. So Justin can be refined, as I can be too as real, even if Father throws me in jail. I have the right of appeal. Everybody will be held accountable in this case. Even if they get away with it in this flesh, you're not going to get away with it after death. It's not going to be by my hands. Remember, I've showed no hands of violence. I've not used hand. They brought men with guns and grenaded my son and my daughter. So, in this timeline, they'll be protected. Not always, Justin. What do you mean, timeline? You want to discuss time? Now, that's another thing I'll number 10 socket your ass. You think you know what time is, huh, Justin? Well, I guess you did. You did say that after death, so maybe you do. So, all right, moving on. I'm a hard, whatever. It's what hardened. Refiner's fire, like steel. Well, I can cuss me, remember that. Okay, goodbye, Justin. See you later, Justin. Don't tell me what to do. See you later. Moderator wrench, number 10 socket, gone. Anything else to say, Justin? Because I've got probably like a trial tomorrow, and I got a dead son and daughter. Cuss you? Fuck you, Justin. I'm putting you through a fire. You soft by a little dialectus, gloss of tongue, little can't be put through a fire. I can't even get them to look for my son. No, you're not. You're not standing with me. He said, don't cuss. Fuck you. You can't put you through a fire. You put through me the same, correct? This will be discovery. Right at discovery, you're angry. Okay, goodbye. My son and daughter are dead and murdered. They're going to not even have them at trial. Goodbye, Justin. See you later for discovery. So you watching now, Lake County? Where's my son and daughter? Where is Elijah Werner? Josephine County had discovery. As I told John Caligo today, on record said they had him on video. So I want to know why Elijah's not there and Adriana's not there. You dropped her charges back in September. Bye-bye, Justin. Delivery system, number 10 socket, get lost. So what about you? Who's watching? Put yourself in here. You've come in here, Lake County, under discovery. You're going to use YouTube evidence against me. And the day before my trial, you're going to have my attorney calling saying you're watching my YouTube. So who is it that's watching? Speak up right now. Is it Sam Birch? Is it Lance Brown? Who is it? Is it Josh? Is it you, Josh, that was bragging about this? Who called for warrant? Sam Birch. Sam Birch. I haven't forgotten about Sam Birch. You guys, go back and look at the discovery of Sam Birch. No, I'm not. I'm number 10 socketed ass. He's gone there. Don't tell me what to do, Scott. I'll number 10 socket your ass too. You'll go bye-bye just as fast in delivery. I'm gone tomorrow, remember? No, I'm not. So please. I mean, I can be corrected. What do you think? I'm stuck on dumb being nice? I'm not being nice. So, you know what I'm saying? Careful, Scott. Beam me up, Scotty. I'm not playing, man. Tomorrow, I asked my attorney, why have you not called Josephine County to get the CAD call? Why did not? Because when I beat this case, I'm going to go right back at it, John, to figure out where Elijah's at. Why does nobody care when I say to my attorney, John, my paid counsel, John, my attorney's dead. My son could be dead. Marshall Radonich when I was arrested because of Josh Bezel. Speak up, Lake County. Speak up. Oh, so I can raise my voice. That doesn't make it the end of the world. Grow the fuck up. You're about ready to try to throw me in a rape cage. I want to know where Elijah Werner's at. He can't be called into discovery. That's called manifest necessity. You can't produce a witness at trial. That failed a discovery. Right of discovery, suppression of evidence under my Sixth Amendment allows my Sixth Amendment right to be called witness as well as evidence into discovery. The right of discovery and suppression of evidence. I reminded my attorney of this today. So speak the fuck up. Because I'm not speaking to any of you dumb fucks that don't give a fuck about my son or daughter. Where is he? I reported where he's at, so Josephine County knows. So I could be a little upset, so what? I've added 521 fucking days. And now I've got the fucking police calling my attorney, telling my attorney, you know, we're watching his YouTube videos and he said you're not doing your job. Fuck you, who's watching? Speak up. Have a fucking set of balls. Be a man. You're going to face judgments one day. You're not going to get away from this. You're not going to do anything to me tomorrow that Father didn't write. Remember, under this ministry, it's everything not written. I'm not angry. It's called passion, you dumbasses. An ass can't learn. So speak up. Who the fuck are you? Which officer, supposedly deputy? Is it you, Sergeant Rorick, that's not a sergeant anymore? Is it you, Ted Martin? Is it you, feds? Who the fuck is watching? Speak up. Now is your time. Not chance or no chance or free will or illusion. Times and illusion. So go ahead. Speak up. I'm not speaking to this ministry anymore. Do you realize I have cops watching me? I told you that. That's their YouTube discovery. They're going to bring YouTube. Say YouTube. They're watching you. IP address. So speak up. This is passion. I want to know where Elijah's at. Because if I beat this case, I told my attorney I'm going right back at it. Calling Josephine County and figuring out why did they not go find. I said my daughter was being raped. John, my daughter, I said, I don't care. I had to call the police on my son and said, you've already shot my son. But guess what? I care about more that my daughter could be being raped when I was arrested, remember, at the last time under your false. Josh, is it you watching? Josh, I can speak up. That's my First Amendment right. You little fucking little pussies. I'm going to take your bonds from you. Every one of you. I'm going to take your bonds. Do you understand? I have that right. I will file the civil case as I spoke with John. You're going to talk with John tomorrow. So Paul Chares, they reported to Paul that the cops are watching this channel and that, oh my God, guess what, John? He's complaining. He's saying you're not doing your job. You little fucking pussies trying to get my attorney to quit on the last day. What kind of fucking weak sauce is that? You're going to still held accountable if you wrongfully convict me. Remember, I've been calling for, change of venue. You've already, I said Dan Spencer represented me in open court. You can't have co-counsel. I've already told that to, who's watching? Speak up, you little bitch. Fucking come on, speak up. Curl up in a little ball like a cinnamon run, like a cinnamon bun at the mall. What are you, fucking like mall rats? Come on, you little rats. Speak the fuck up. Who are you in here watching? I don't care if you wrongfully convict me tomorrow. I still have the right of appeal. Speak up. You're watching. I know you're in here. I told you, brothers and sisters, in their discovery, they watched the channel, and here we go. So I'm calling them out the day before court because I'm not happy. I want to know why is Josephine County? Why did I report, as I reminded to John Caligo today, did I report to the state police? Will they not go look for Elijah Werner and Adriana Massey? They both went missing in September. I can't even report their dead bodies. Raped, I said. Raped to Josephine County by Marshall Radish. I want a federal investigation on Marshall. Is he federal or Radish snitch, bitch? What the fuck is he? Another one curling up in a ball. I want to know who the fuck Marshall Radonich is. I gave you the discovery to show you that this man probably killed my son over some gold and silver. So speak up right now. Who the fuck are you? I'll see you tomorrow in court. What, are you going to wrongfully convict me? Then you can see me in your little Lake County fucking remember, you put the fucking herpes flap or whatever STD through the same hole that you serve your fucking meds that you don't even had by a doctor. That fucking facility should be shut down. Doctors are supposed to be prescribing meds and not the same shit flap hole that your food's coming through. Same hole. Been there, locked up a couple fucking times. They got an award for some good fucking jail. Fuck that place. They didn't even have fucking top ramen when my son was there. Remember, this case is going to be fucking 5 to 6 years old. I'm going to bring every one of these people under civil lawsuit. State, federal, and every one of these deputies, sheriff, prior, Michael Taylor, and fucking the current one, because he ain't stepped in too. Whatever his name is. I forget. Daryl or something. Whatever. I can't remember everybody's name. But he came out. Supposedly somebody came fronting. So speak the fuck up. Who the fuck are you? Speak up. You know, my attorney wouldn't probably advise of this. Fuck that. My attorney's going to beat your ass tomorrow, like I said. Like I reminded him when I called, I said, no, that's not how it goes, John. I said, under the right of discovery, suppression of evidence, they have to call. Remember, you have to call witness in my favor. Why, John, have you not called? Because remember, I didn't physically stop myself. We'll let that be, because I know I told my attorney, John, you've been practicing law since 82. I got faith in Father, so you know, brothers and sisters. But you know what? Yeah, well, anyways, it is what it is. So guess what? I'm going to go at these people, and no matter what they do to me, it's not going to change anything. That's why I'm not concerned. This shows you how weak their fucking case is. So speak up. Who the fuck are you? Which weak-ass sauce officer, so I can take your bond too? Everybody, Josh Bezel, or Bezel, headlight Bezel, because are you the one who fucking took my headlight out of my Toyota and put it inside the property? See, remember, they were wrecking my property. Not only did the SWAT team came later, you'll find out that Josh, or who was it? Which one was it that ran over that desert rat totem out there? Remember, I was talking about, heard somebody out there because I live stream it, and then 2 days later, it got run over because they're watching. So speak the fuck up, Lake County. Speak up, because tomorrow I'm going to beat your pants off in court. You better drop this before court, because you can't, under manifest necessity, produce Elijah. And I've been saying he's dead or murdered, and you cannot. Remember how many times you threw me in jail, Josh? Remember, I'm going to go after separate federal indictment of retaliation against Josh Bezel, because he retaliated. He filed retaliation charges. Remember, I said, Josh, you're out there harassing this community and going on other people's property and going in their houses and harassing them. Instead, he filed harassment and menacing charges, the police, against me. Okay? And threw me in jail because I asked him, I said, where's my son, Josh? You had a whole year now, Josh, to be looking for my son. Remember, this is all recorded in the Sinclair gas station, Josh. Nobody was violent. Remember, after I came home, I said, man, I punked his ass and fucking beat him with his gun. But I didn't say that to Josh. That was in my mind, like a robotic, because I'm a veteran. And, you know, I didn't do that. I just was upset that when I asked him where my son was at, he was like, oh, he's got a warrant for it. You're a fucking guilty motherfucker, Josh. You're going to prison, Josh. And as I reminded my attorney today, and it doesn't matter that Dave Vandenberg is a fucking criminal. So I got to face Dave, the fucking in the black robe Vandenberg, and I'm not afraid of Dave. Fuck you. Already subrogated my merchant number in open court. This is where they think I'm crazy, but I don't care. Remember, I know my rights. I stood up. No matter what, I'm not 98.5% of the fucking weak ass bitches in America that take a fucking agreement to plea. I'm not pleading out for your fucking little misdemeanor and unsupervised probation. So you think you can slap me on the wrist and take money from me? If you're going to take money from me, you're going to do it unwillingly. I'm not going to do it willingly. You throw me in your rape cage, I'll appeal and take a federal case, and 90+% of federal cases win in a because they actually look at the evidence. And I have more, as I reminded my attorney today, that I called him at month 5, month 17, and month fucking 33 before they threw him in fucking jail at month 42. And before at month 30, he said, well, Tracy, that is serious. I don't care. Discovery, phone calls, those were all. Why would I call I said, why isn't Ryan Solberg been brought into Discovery here, John? Because remember at month 17, Elijah asked Ryan Solberg if he could call for the courts to release him off probation early because he had done all his community servants, road crew, work crew back to leave the county. Why I called you at month 5. And you reminded me, remember, John, that it's community service. As you reminded me when he got arrested, they do whatever the fuck they want. The community service does whatever they want it to document it. I reminded my attorney of that today, where the fuck you are in Lake County listening, that I called at month 5. You didn't even make any attempt to de-escalate. None. At month 17, I called my son to say, hey, son, you did everything you needed to do. Now call Ryan Solberg and petition the courts to get off probation early. And then I called John at month 17. And then I reminded him today that Elijah did his 180 hours with Tom, Dawn, Morgan, and the 2 females. And he did it again. And that the fucking state and county owes my son a lot of money. So who's listening now? Who's listening in Lake County? And I'm reminded there was a kidnapping that took place that night because you arrested Adriana Massey without a warrant. That's a kidnapping. You arrest somebody to take an arrest, risk their body without probable cause. A signed indictment by a judge, jury indictment by a judge, that is a kidnapping. And I reminded my paid attorney today that is a 25-year sentence. And if you do it with the gun, it's life in prison. So step up. Who the fuck is in here? Which one of you Lake County little pigs are watching right now? Remember? Is it you, Sam Birch? Because I'm going after you on a separate indictment. Because remember, you, Sam Birch, said you were watching this YouTube evidence. Now you're watching me now. So step up and get your indictment. Who the fuck is it that's watching here in Lake County? They just reported to my attorney that they're watching, that I said my attorney's not doing his job. So who the fuck is it? Speak up. Come on. I'm going to play civil lawsuit showing that I didn't want money in this case. I already could have filed civil lawsuit. As I reminded my attorney today, paid counsel, that my son is a very wealthy man because you made him do an extra 133 hours, which he did. And we can prove that. Yes. If they actually look at the discovery, which they don't want to look at. How about I reminded my attorney today. Well, this is what I was saying, John, because how about the 200+ hours trying to de-escalate the situation where people were calling from all over the world, Lake County, Sheriff's Office, Ted Martin. I'll be pulling Ted Martin, I said to my attorney today. I'll be pulling my Ted Martin out of fucking his retirement because he, John, is the one who signed the fucking SWAT warrant where they shot my son, John, with his hands over his head, John. You can't grenade my son and daughter without a warrant, John. That is assault and battery, John. That is attempted murder. You can't hit me in the face, John. Remember, they haven't even brought into Discovery. They want to bring in YouTube, John. But what about the 200 hours and what they did to me, John? Is that going to be brought into Discovery? That's why I said, John. But you know what I said, John? I said, listen. I said, my attorney's been practicing law since 1982. This little weak sauce, that little fucking bitch-ass little Paul Charez, he's only in his 30s. He's going to get roasted. That's what I said, John, in court. I have faith in Father. If you needed to call me, John, you would call me. That's what I said. I apologize, John, because you didn't call me Friday. Now I realize it's Monday and you're calling me. So it was my bad. And I said, if you needed to call me, you would. I had not faith in you, John, but faith in Father, but because he knows that I'm a pastor and that I'm a minister. So I ain't taking no deal. So who's in here, you rat? Little bitch-ass pig? Speak up. I'm going to place lawsuit against you. Your IP address is going to be brought up. You can't hide. That's what these stupid fucking pigs don't realize, that when they hit the end of my driveway with their cop cars, they had a phone on them. And so does their cop car. Remember, I reported that to Paul Palmer. Instead, he told me to go get a psychological mental evaluation if it stressed me out that the cops were possibly running over my property. Again. So when I prove that they wrongfully convicted me today, as I told John Caligo, I'm going to double my lawsuit against them because they wrongfully convicted me. Every one of these officers will be held accountable for 25-year prison sentence for the kidnapping of Adriana Massey. What do you have to say about that, Lake County? You signed through Ted Martin and now Paul Charas. So Paul Charas, are you in here? Step up to the mic, Paul Charas. They fucking reported to you, you little bitch-ass pigs reported to you that, oh, my attorney, well, I was bitching about my attorney. What do you think, you get my attorney to quit? What a fucking witch, what a weeks, what kind of shit is that, guys? I know, I told you that connection. Did I not say that the whole fucking time? Well, I'm going to stop for a second, but obviously you can see I'm not happy. YouTube, but they won't bring the 200 plus hours, as I reminded that Elijah did his 180 plus 130, that Elijah is a very wealthy man, if he's alive. And so is Adriana for the kidnapping of her body, that they both be very wealthy, as I reminded my attorney today. So speak up, pigs. Who is you in here, huh? Who was you? Who speak the fuck up, pigs? Speak up. Come on. I want to place law. Get yourself out of this, as I told who was it who took me to fucking jail the first time? Sam Birch. You can be a hero, Sam. You know my son did these 180 hours. You could have looked into this, Sam, before you call SWAT raid on this house. I was, for 200 plus hours, I contacted Kresha Brunsman and said, if you arrest my son illegally because he already did all these hours and then you made him do an additional 133, I will arrest his body. Right, to make sure that you would, and so I did it. It's all discovery. They're not even caring about it, and they're not bringing anything in discovery. This case is a mistrial before it ever happened. I reminded my attorney today, whoever's watching, I reminded my attorney today, speak up, you little pigs. I have the right of affirmative defense, as I reminded John Caligo, my appointed counsel, paid counsel today, that under the right of affirmative defense is my Fourth Amendment right to be secure in my house, papers, persons, effects. Remember, under the right of due process, I have that Fourth and Fifth Amendment right. If you're going to cost my body, come in here and arrest me, I still have the right to protect myself from illegal prosecution. As I reminded John today, tomorrow they're going to be taking me to a criminal trial that my actions, civil and criminal, are justified under my Fourth Amendment right to protect myself under affirmative defense, self-defense under the Fourth Amendment, justification as excused defense. It justifies and, right, my justification and my excuses my civil and criminal actions in a civil, not yet, criminal trial tomorrow. My actions are justified. I have the right to protect myself under the Fourth Amendment from illegal prosecution. So does my son. As I reminded my attorney today that my son today, if he is still alive, is justified to protect himself from being thrown in a fucking rape cage. As you keep trying to throw him in a fucking rape cage without looking at discovery of Tom, Dawn, Morgan, the two females that did it with him, even tried to ping their phones to even bring in discovery, and the 133 hours that he did with Sheriff. How about why didn't Ryan Solberg? I reminded my attorney today that why didn't Ryan Solberg on his fucking action plan say at 6 months he needed to start fucking probation because he didn't do it back in month when he left. No bullshit. He already did it. That was the terms of the release to be released out of the county. And he did it again. So they owed him a lot of money, and he's a very wealthy man, if he's alive. And I reminded that to my attorney today and said, as soon as I don't care, John, if they throw me in jail, wrongfully convict me, I have the right of appeal. As soon as I get out, I'm going to go right back and call Josephine County and find out why did they not go look for the 40 pounds of silver? Yeah, the passport, and why. I said, I don't care. I had to call the cops on my son who was already shot with his hands over the air, but I was more worried about my daughter being raped. And I had to call the cops, and they did not call. John, they failed to call for service. So as soon as this is done, I'm calling Josephine County, and I'm going right back where I was. I'm not giving up. I want to know where my son and daughter are at now. Nobody cares, and I do. So whatever happens tomorrow is not going to stop me. Even if they convict me wrongfully, it's a mistrial because they didn't even call my son and daughter into fucking trial, which they were there in the car that day, which my attorney says were covered. I didn't stop Elijah. I didn't force him to stop the car. I just told him, don't stop. That's not, they don't have any evidence against me, and that's why he hasn't called my son or daughter. But I did remind him that it is my Sixth Amendment right, and as well as the state's burden of proof to bring evidence and discovery, because if he was the one that I told stop the car, then he need to have him there to prove that, hey, your dad didn't physically stop you, right? They don't have him there. Or Adriana, who they've already dropped her charges. So they don't have any conspiracy charges. That's why Dave Vandenberg's going to go to prison, because when I called Josephine County, they wouldn't go there because of the restraining order that Dave Vandenberg wouldn't lift, that I told him to lift from the beginning. So fuck you, Dave Vandenberg. I don't care if I see you tomorrow and you throw me in your little fucking rape cage in there. I don't think anybody's getting raped in Lake County, but they might get, hey, come in here and get the fuck unalive somewhere else, huh? Well, I'm not afraid of that. You're not going to do anything to me that Father didn't already write. I just want to hold this county accountable. They brought 20 plus men with guns and grenaded my son and daughter when they were sleeping. My daughter didn't even have a warrant for her arrest. That is absolute assault and battery. And that's a kidnapping if they didn't have a warrant for arrest. It's a 25-year prison sentence. If you kidnap somebody without a, yeah, it is wrong. If you can be convicted and if you do it with a gun, that's a life sentence. See why they try, see what they're doing, see what they're trying to cover up here? So fuck you, speak up. Who are you? Which pig is it that's in here watching? You reported to my fucking, to Paul Charas, and Paul Charas called my attorney today, and my attorney said, hey, the district attorney called and said, you're bitching that I'm not doing my job. So who the fuck is it? Who are you? Which one of you 22? And I know this chat's shadow banned, so it might not be. It could be somebody you don't think they couldn't appear in here without the number? They got all the tech, brothers, sisters. Who are you? Speak up. I'm going to take your bond. I'm going to get your IP address. You were here anyways. Under the right of discovery, suppression of evidence, it's going to go to federal trial. It is, because I'm going to civilly lawsuit now, which I told John today. John, this is bullshit. I'm going to sue this county because nobody cares where my son and daughter are at, and they can't produce them at my own fucking trial. I'm going to sue them. Fuck that. Remind that to Paul Charas tomorrow when you speak with him. He better drop this case because I will be placing lawsuit. There's no real backing out of this. No, brothers, sisters, I told you before today, I would not sue Lake County because this is the poorest county. That's how this whole case started with, might I remind you, Tony Karsten, the rapist. Would you like to explain that? Because when you go to federal court, Tony Karsten is going to be brought up in this case. Paul Charas, Ted Martin, Sam Birch, Lance Brown. Who is it? Which officer is in here? Which deputy? Who's watching? Because they're watching this channel right now. That's what I got a call from my attorney saying, so speak up, you pigs. Why are you so silent? You using your right of Fifth Amendment? Why don't you just have the attorney call me now? Why don't you settle this for tomorrow, not make me drive all the way down there? Because that'll be part of my, every hour that I drive down there tomorrow, I'll be placing lawsuit against this county. I was not going to do that because I don't think it's right to make the taxpayer pay for the criminal behavior of Dave Vandenberg. Yeah, Dave Vandenberg. I'm going to put that. I told John today, that guy is a criminal. He called Pat Wilkie and tried to strong arm me to try to say that I had to represent myself in court. Fuck this bullshit. I'm calling this shit out. I don't care. I only have one fucking day. They're either going to throw me in jail or they're not. I don't care if they do. That's what I reminded my attorney today. I have the right of appeal. And I'm going to beat this case. You understand? I'm not going to do this shit anymore. Speak the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You guys, there's no discovery. That all gets brought up. My son was the only one to go to jail. I told my attorney today, you tell Paul Charas to drop the charges on my son, or I ain't stopping. I'm going to file this civil lawsuit. And I may consider it. I will still sue the state of Oregon, 100%. If they drop Elijah's charges, and drop my charges, I will not sue Lake County. If you're watching, you better under manifest necessity, you can't produce Elijah or Adriana, which you had all this time. You had 18 months to bring them into discovery. Right of discovery, suppression of evidence. You're suppressing my son. I have my own right to call the witness under the Sixth Amendment to call witness in my favor under my Sixth Amendment, speedy and fair trial, fair and speedy trial to call witness in discovery. The right of discovery, suppression of evidence. Where is Elijah? I reminded my attorney of this today. So who the fuck is it? That's what I was complaining about here. I told my attorney that today, and my attorney says, guess what? We don't need him there because they don't have a case. You didn't physically stop. They already dropped my son's charges, or excuse me, my daughter's charges because of the same thing. So who is it? Which one of you slimy fucking pigs are in here listening? You better report to Paul Charez right now. And I know this is going to be heavy on his head because it's the first case in the fucking AM. This case ain't going away. I better get a call before I even drive to fucking Lake County. Remind you that my son did not only his 180 hours, but he did the 130. Then you arrested my daughter without a warrant. That's a kidnapping. Where is Marshall Radanich, and why have you not sent somebody out to investigate him? Why has the feds not come in to see why Paul, right? Oh, excuse me, not Paul Palmer. He said, oh yeah, why didn't Paul Palmer call the feds? When he called Josephine County, as he says he did, and I don't know if that happened, but they wouldn't give him the CAD call of Elijah being at that residence. They saw him on camera. As I reminded my attorney today that the cops know where Elijah's at last. They're accountable for his whereabouts. Law enforcement is. I went to jail because of that, remember? Josh Bezel, are you listening, you fucking fat pig? You fucking fat slimy pig? Remember I told you, dude, I ain't your enemy. I knew I sold shit to you. They gonna turn against me and go fucking brag, huh? I'm gonna fucking ping your phone, your duty phone, in your fucking duty vehicle, because that's all discovery in your federal case for your indictment. Josh Bezel, are you listening right now? Speak up, you fat fuck. You fat fucking swine. You Saturday fucking Suerto. You fucking sweat hog. Speak the fuck up. Remember I told you when you took me to fucking jail that you're the one fucking probably responsible for my headlight being in my property when it was outside of the property, and I never brought that Toyota because you're pissed off because I First Amendment audited you, which is on this channel, that you pulled me over again. And I told you guys are fucking harassing me. I already showed you a driver's license and insurance, you fucking fat fucking pig. Is it you, Josh? Why you ain't gonna get away from this, you fucking slimy fat fucking pig. I have the right to say that. That's my First Amendment right. That's a problem with you fucking weak-ass Americans that don't want to search your First Amendment right. I took an oath to the Constitution. And I'm going to continue to assert my First Amendment right to redress grievances. So that's what I'm saying. Fuck this fat fucking pig. He better call the fucking district. He's the one who arrested me for fucking menacing and harassing the police, which is retaliatory charges. I can prove that Josh, I have fucking discovery on my phone that Josh has been going onto people's properties, as I told him, and into fucking people's houses without fucking warrant. And he turned around and filed harassment charges against me and menacing the police and came and took my Second Amendment right from me. So Josh is going to be a whole separate case. I'm going to take Josh Bezel's bond. He will not fucking work in this county ever again as a law enforcement or public tyrant, a fucking servant. He's supposed to be serving the public. That's what I said. Why are you not out looking for my son's 180 hours, trying to find Tom, Dawn, Morgan, the two females? Instead, you're out harassing people, going on their fucking property and going in their houses without a warrant. He turns around and files retaliation. And I said, Marshall Radanich. That's why you're going to prison, Josh, because you didn't look into Marshall Radanich. Did Marshall Radanich kill my son? I said Marshall Radanich at the time of my arrest. You too, Lance Brown. I'll see you there tomorrow, Lance Brown. Tomorrow, Lance Brown. Is that you, Lance Brown? Are you in here watching? I think it's you, you little fucking fat fucking handlebar mustache. You're not fat. You little fat handlebar mustache. You pulled up here, remember? You didn't pursue shit because you knew goddamn good and fucking well. Whatever it is, what it is. This is what this whole fucking SWAT raid. All of you could have come to my property and looked into Tom, Dawn, Morgan, the two females, and then called John and say, why did Ryan Solberg say that Elijah could get off probation at 17 months? Because he did all his fucking probation to leave the county. And then you extorted him for an additional, Gresha, Brunsman will be going to prison. That's the head of probation under federal indictment, because I called her and said, stop doing this to my son. You already threw him in jail. We can already prove it. You'll just go call Lake County. That was the terms of the release. He already did these hours, and now you extorted him and made him do more hours. That's bullshit. He already did all these. That was the terms. That's why I'm calling you, because I call probation. They don't want to talk to me. Now I'm getting a hold of head of probation. How Elijah's terms of release would be released in your county was that all his probation work crew or road crew was completed. And if he didn't, it would have said on his action plan from Ryan Solberg that he needed to report it to Sheriff Dumar or Officer Black and pay $100 to start his community service. He didn't have to do that until month 33. Bullshit. I want Ryan Solberg put in federal fucking prison. Ryan Solberg is a probation officer that was called and approached by Elijah and asked, can I petition the courts at 17 months? Because he said, Ryan Solberg said to him, yes, because you completed all your probation, you just need to pay your community your restitution, and you can get off probation at 18 months. That's why I called John today and reminded John that I called him at month 5, and this whole could have been avoided without a SWAT warrant if they would have just went back and under discovery called in that I called at 5 months. Prior, I called John and called Lake County, and they told me that Elijah's hours were completed at 5 months. See, just one phone call could have, remember, they had no de-escalation. Instead, they brought drones, 20 plus men with guns, and assaulted this place. So I will hold you accountable. Speak up, you fucking pigs. You're not going to change anything that's going to happen tomorrow unless you back the fuck down. You're all going to go to prison under a civil lawsuit I will file to hold these people accountable. And I reminded my attorney of that today. Even if they convict me, John, the moment I get out of jail, I'm going to fucking go right back at this. I want to know where my son is at and my daughter. Nobody else cares, John. If they, when you get this case taken care of, John, I'm going to go right at this, John, just so you know. I'm going to be calling for discovery. Why did fucking Josephine County not go look for Elijah in May when I found out that where he was, when I went down there and found Adriana's car? When I said, hey, there's 40 pounds of silver, there's a passport, that's a federal offense. My son is there who has a 7-year warrant for his arrest. That would put him in jail, a guaranteed contract, but my daughter's there and could be being raped by Marshall Radanich. So Lance Brown, remember at my time of arrest, I was saying Marshall Radanich. Why did you never look at Marshall Radanich? I'm going to see you there tomorrow, Lance Brown. You are the police officer that was there that day, Lance Brown. So are you in here right now, Lance Brown? Speak up, you fucking little bitch. Speak up, because remember tomorrow, I told you at my time of arrest, Marshall Radanich. You never went to go see if Marshall Radanich killed my son. You didn't investigate anything. Same thing with Josh. Josh never did to investigate whether Marshall Radanich killed my son or not. So guess what? Lance Brown, is that you in here? Is it you? Are you in here? I know one of you fucking pigs are in here. Speak up. I got you backs against the fucking wall. Checkmate. I'm going to file civil lawsuit, as I reminded my attorney today. And he said, yes, Tracy, you have civil lawsuit against they know that. He knows what they did to me was wrong, but he's a criminal attorney. His job is to get me out of the charges because they don't have any evidence against me. That's what he's going to present tomorrow in court. So which one of you fat fucking or lazy fucking hanging out at the goddamn, or harassing this public when you could actually be doing some service for this community? Instead, you're public fucking tyrants. So which one of you pigs are in here? Is it you, Lance Brown? Because I'll see you tomorrow, Lance Brown. You better be in your fucking uniform. Why didn't you get out of the car, Lance Brown? That's not a felony pursuit, Lance Brown. You didn't even get out and pronounce yourself. I was calling you Sam Birch, Lance Brown. How come you didn't say anything? There was no pursuit. You were wrong. You're dead fucking wrong. You could have came here and de-escalated the situation and investigated. And instead, you just came and brought a SWAT warrant because of Sam Birch. Is that you in here, Sam Birch? I didn't see you in a country minute, Sam. You'll be brought into federal indictment, Sam, because it was you who was watching my YouTube evidence, Sam Birch. Remember, I've got the discovery against you, Sam. That's a whole separate case against you. I'm going to sue your bond. You're not going to work in law enforcement anymore, Sam. Speak up. Is it you, Sam? Are you in here, Sam Birch? Are you the fuck in here? Remember, I reported that there were literally people harassing me. saying they were SWAT teams were going to come to this house. And I called you, Sam, saying that these people said that they were SWAT teams are going to get a fucking warrant and come out. And you said that's legal in Oregon. Sam, I'm going to from you. You could have de-escalated this whole situation. You are the one who started this too with Josh. You guys all conspired against me. Instead, you put conspiracy charges against me. But you dropped my daughter, so you don't have any conspiracy charges tomorrow. You're fucked on that. I know my attorney already told me that. There is no conspiracy charges. That makes Dave Vanderberg liable for 14 months ago, who dropped my daughter's charges through the attorney, dropped the charges, so there should have been no contact order, and they would have went to Josephine County and looked for her raped body or murdered body or missing body. So guess what, Dave Vanderberg? You're going to prison, Dave Vanderberg. As I told you in open court, you're going to go to prison, because where is Adriana Massey right now? I want to know, where is Adriana Massey? She went and her charges were dropped in September. The state police are going to be held accountable. Will you be there tomorrow? Probably not, right? Because they didn't follow me. State police are going to be held accountable. They grenaded my son and daughter when they were sleeping. I don't care what their probable cause was to come out here. You can't grenade somebody. There was no threat to any one of these officers. You can't grenade somebody in their sleep. So every one of these state police will be put under conviction, under civil lawsuit. I will find them criminally liable, sue the state of Oregon, sue their bond, as well as sue this Lake County, because they took me to court tomorrow. If I, in the morning, the only way that I will not sue you fat fucking pig, is that you, Josh? You go tell Paul Charles, if they drop Eliza's charges, I won't sue this county, but I will sue the state of Oregon. I will sue the state of Oregon to hold accountable. It ain't about the money to me. I could already file these lawsuits civilly, but I have not chosen to do that, right? Because I have faith in Father. I get my faith in Father in the Word, that he would protect me. Oh, you Luke 12 and 11, you be without counsel, and they'll throw you in front of their magistrates. Fuck you, Dave Vanderberg. You don't scare me, you little fucking puppet. I answer to Father. I have not called for violence. You signed the fucking warrant, Dave Vanderberg, that allowed 25 men to assault my daughter and kidnap her. So you will be facing a federal indictment for calling, as I reminded Judge fucking Pat Wilkie, that you called Dave Vanderberg, called Pat Wilkie and tried to have him strong arm me. Remember? I reminded my attorney of that today. Dave Vanderberg, I'm speaking of you, because I'm sure they've got you in here watching now. You're going to be there in the morning. So, Dave, remember, under manifest necessity, you can drop this. Fuck you. I know this is all going from the fucking chief of finance, but I know your little silly little game. I've been a prior pig, remember? It's in the discovery. I'm a prior law enforcement officer. So you can drop this tomorrow. Before this ever goes, get a hold of it tonight. He can call me tonight. I don't give a fuck. He'd probably be happy not to drive all the way the fuck here. Because when you make me tomorrow drive all the way there, Dave Vanderberg, and I prove that my daughter's charges were dropped in September, therefore, when I called in May to look for my daughter, who you said they couldn't go look for because I had a no contact order. That no contact order had already been dropped. They should have at least went and looked for my raped Adriana Massey daughter, as I reported in the county where her car was. So you're going to Judge Dave Vanderberg. You're going to jail. And so is Pat Wilkie, because I said to Dave, I said that today, if you're listening, Dave, to my attorney, John Caligo, that you did call Pat Wilkie and you conspired against me. And you had him tell me that I had to come in and represent myself, which is a Fifth Amendment violation, a right of my due process. And you told me I had to represent myself because I was micromanaging my attorneys. So forced me, and remember, in open court, I told you, you said, you have to represent yourself. And what did I say? That you're going to fail my right of due process of my Fifth Amendment, my right to adequate counsel. And you didn't remember? You said, if you keep trying to report your son and daughter murdered in the county that you said. So that's why now I'm addressing you, Pat Wilkie. Are you in here too? Because he called you, Dave Vanderberg, as I explained to my attorney today, that I'm sure under discovery that Pat was called by Dave Vanderberg and said, come take care of this motherfucker. He won't take a deal. Yeah, I told to my attorney today. So I'm gonna have both these attorneys thrown in. These judges, because Dave Vanderberg called Pat Wilkie and said, get rid of this fucking guy. Come in on my pretrial. Why would you send him in on my pretrial? He wasn't even a seated judge on the preceding case. He came from 5 hours away. When I asked Pat Wolke, remember, when I told him that my son and daughter had been murdered in his county, he said he didn't know anything about that. But I guarantee you, discovery, when brought against the federal indictment of Dave Vandenberg and Pat Wolke, that Pat Wolke was called by Dave Vandenberg, and he called him, and that's why he drove out here. And I even reminded my attorney, he said he does have jurisdiction, but fuck it, let's see, because Pat Wolke told me he didn't know anything about the case, and I was reporting that my son and daughter were murdered in his county. He should have stopped that proceeding, and that's a conflict of interest, and said, now, wait a minute, you're reporting your son and daughter are murdered in the county that I'm a seated judge. So Pat Wolke, are you listening? You're going to prison, Pat Wolke. You're going to prison as well as Dave Vandenberg, and I'm going to have to face tomorrow, and I'm not afraid of you. You better fucking take care of this case. I want Elijah's charges dropped. And then I won't sue the county. I'm going to fucking sue you, Dave Vandenberg. You're done. You're fucking, I'm going to uncover everything else that you've done. Like fucking Gene, that you took his fucking child, all that shit, because he was in the discovery on my case. Don't forget about Gene Gaber. Dave Vandenberg, are you watching Gene Gaber? Remember, you shouldn't practice in family law. Remember? Let's not even go into that. But remember, Pat Wolke said, I don't know anything about that case you're talking about. And if you don't stop trying to report your son and daughter murdered in my county, I'm going to come to where you're at and throw you in jail. Pat Wolke, you're going to prison. So are you, Dave Vandenberg. See, if you would have just fucking dropped this charges back, at least, as I said to you, hey, at least drop the fucking criminal conspiracy so I can't have contact with my son. We're not trying to fucking run. I mean, they separated all of us. You know, what they did was fucking an abomination after assaulting my daughter and son and arresting my daughter. We should have all been taken to the fucking emergency room and not the county jail. They'll be held liable for that. Yes, they will, for the fucking assault on my daughter and son. And what they did was an absolute assault. You can't hit somebody with a flash concussion grenade in their sleep. So I want to see all the body cam of every one of these fucking state police. Who did it? Which one of these officers did it? So we're going to go and take this to the box. You understand? We're not going to sit there and take your deal. It's obviously, you offered me a fucking a misdemeanor in the smallest, and no felony or excuse me, no supervised probation after assaulting my daughter and kidnapping her, and you can't even bring them under manifest necessity to trial. You're going to lose tomorrow. A judge, my attorney is aware of this, just so you know, whoever's listening, you fucking pigs. I told him that I still have the right. I said, Elijah still has the right to protect himself from being thrown in a fucking rape cage, John. He hasn't done anything wrong. They already shot him, assaulted him and my daughter. If he's alive, just protecting myself. But I don't think he's alive, John. I think he's dead. I said that just like that to my attorney today. Just so you know, if you're listening, Dave Vandenberg, Pat Wolke, Michael fucking Taylor, fucking Richard Greer, Lily fucking Frank. I got all your names. I had 200 plus hours that I tried to get you to de-escalate this fucking case, and you've pushed it for 452 days tomorrow. So we'll see if Father has his hands. If you think you can convict me, I still have the right of appeal. And look at the percentage of cases that get overturned when they go to appeal, which will only support my lawsuit. So tomorrow, if I go there tomorrow and at 8:30, I go there and my attorney says to me, Tracy, the district attorney has decided to drop all of Elijah's charges and your charges. They'll be returning all your Second Amendment items. Since you're here, you can come pick them up. I will not place lawsuit against Lake County, Oregon, but I 100% will be placing lawsuit against the state of Oregon. I need them to be held accountable for grenading my son. I don't think it was Lake County that grenaded. I think they just tailed, which is bullshit. They still should be held accountable. They will in federal court if they don't fucking drop this shit. They will still, because they tailed them out here. They were part of the 20 plus men. And how many Bearcats, MRAPs, armored vehicles did you need to bring out for somebody who was just trying to make sure he didn't throw his son in jail for he already did his probation 2 times, and you still this is over a fucking probation fucking violation. They SWAT raided this house. There's a lot more going on than that. So you know that goddamn good and well. You just don't like me because I'm boisterous, because I stand up for this fucking community. So if they don't drop the charges on Elijah As I told my attorney today, the same fucking thing, which you can call in discovery on Elijah and myself, I will be placing lawsuit whether I win or not, because I will beat it in a federal court unless they unalive me in jail or something, which I'm not fearing them doing that to me. Father will protect me. They brought how many men with guns to try to come out and get me to come out with a gun? But remember, in a federal case, it'll show everybody went with their hands, and nobody fucking that was unjustified force, excessive force, and attempted murder. So I probably got to take this call. I know where that's coming from. Oh, hold on one second. Let me take a pause for the call. Hold on. I got to take this call. All right, give me 1 second. I'm on a farmer. I'm on a fire. I got to go check on my ladies here real quick. And in a minute here, what do we got here? You guys, I'm not going to let up. Whether I told that to my attorney today, even they wrongfully convict me, I have the right of due process. They failed that. They have already under the right of change of venue, which already started back, with Phil Studenberg because he didn't do anything. And then Paul Palmer because he wasn't doing anything. This case is a bias. Now, John might be able to get me a fair fucking jury, which I don't know. We see tomorrow, but I surely don't have a fair fucking judge when he calls another judge to come out and try to strong arm me. So fuck you, Dave Vandenberg. I ain't afraid of you tomorrow, just so you know. And I ain't afraid of you, Paul Char. You're the chief of finance. I know everybody's trying to get you. You're the one who can drop the charges. And as I'm telling you, listen to both of me. Listen to me, you fucking pigs. You call these, whether you call the judge tonight, you can do that. You already called the judge to tell the district attorney to bitch and try to get my attorney to drop me because I'm whining about him, right? So I know you're in here under the right of, remember, manifest necessity. You can drop it, Dave Vandenberg. That allows you, Dave, to drop it. I'm going to do the federal indictment against you. I am. You fucking should have dropped that fucking no contact order when I told you every time I went into court and faced you, Dave Vandenberg, told you to drop all these charges that you didn't have to begin with, remember? And as I reminded fucking my attorney today that Dan Spencer represented me in open court, and that's co-counsel. The whole case should have been dropped already. I've got you beat like a motherfucker. And even if you wrongfully convict me, I still to take it to a federal case, appeal court in a federal. It's not going to be in your county. You can't hide it anymore. So if you can't produce Elijah tomorrow and you cannot produce Adriana tomorrow, you have the conspiracy case, which you should have dropped already, and you didn't. So therefore, Josephine County didn't go look for Adriana. So you are an accessory if Marshall killed my son, Dave Vandenberg, and my daughter. Dave Vandenberg, you listen to me right now. Dave Vandenberg, I don't think you fucking see how serious I am. You are an accessory to my son and daughter's murder because you didn't drop the fucking charges. I call at least the no contact order. You could have, and the charges daughters were dropped. It should have been dropped anyways. It should have been. So when I called Josephine County to go look for my raped daughter, your no contact order was still in place, which could have potentially led to the daughter of my murdered or daughter's death of her body. You'll be held accountable, Dave Vandenberg, because I told you to drop those. At least if you want to try to prosecute me for hindering prosecution and interfering with a peace officer, that's one thing. But this criminal conspiracy is a bunch of bullshit. I didn't conspire with anybody. My daughter was here, and I was saying, you're going to stay with your fucking husband if they're going to throw him in a fucking rape cage, and you're going to be with him in his last days. She got caught in all the middle of it. That's why you didn't have a warrant for arrest, which is a kidnapping. Might I remind you, they kidnapped Adriana Massey on May 29th of 2024. The state police and Lake County, Oregon kidnapped, as I reminded my attorney today, Adriana Massey's body was kidnapped. They arrested her. They failed the right of due process. They did not have a signed indictment, jury indictment, signed by a judge, and they arrested her body. They dropped her charges because they didn't have evidence. That is a fucking kidnapping. You better stand the fuck down. I want to call tonight. I don't even want to drive there tomorrow. If I drive there tomorrow, it's because you drop my charges. I'm going to go pick up my, what do I have, a shotgun and a 308. Weapons I've never even fired so I can protect my animals. You either restore all my rights and drop all these charges and Adriana's Charges have been dropped, but my son's charges tomorrow, I'm going to take this to trial and I'm going to beat you in a federal court and I'm going to sue every one of these cops, take their bonds, judges, probation officers. Lily Frank, are you in here? You better listen, Lily. You and Tony Karsten, obviously I've got you, Lily. You know, what about your service weapon? Did you get by? What about a DUI? You want to talk about that, Lily Frank? Hey, Paul Charles, you want to talk about Lily Frank? Because she's part of this. When I go to a federal court, it's going to all involve Tony Karsten. You want to talk about Tony Karsten, Paul Charles? You want to talk about the 200 hours that a live stream involving Tony Karsten? Involving that my son was the only one out of 5 guys to go to jail? Why, Paul Charles? You want to talk about, because this is going to be brought up. You can't run from Elijah's 180 hours. As I told that to my attorney today, you know, he told me they don't have to put me on the witness stand. But I told him today, you think they put me on the witness stand and I'm not going to bring up why my son is not there, which is a right of failure of manifest necessity to have him. He's a crucial witness. The state needs to have them there because he needs to prove the state. The attorney needs to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. They have the preponderance of evidence, means that my attorney goes in there and tells the jury, my client doesn't have, which I don't have any charges, is not guilty. The state has all the burden of proof to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And if they can't, you can't convict him. Which obviously they don't even have Elijah or Adriana there. Stand the fuck down. Speak the fuck up, you pigs. I'm going to go check on my fucking ladies. Fuck you, you pigs. Leave me alone, drop the charges on Elijah and Adriana, and fuck this. I'll exist in this town, and know what? No, because I already said, if you try to convict me, then I have a charge, and I can't leave the fucking country, which I'm trying to do. That's the only thing which I didn't tell my attorney this time, which I already told him. Remember, I'm trying to leave and go outside the country and take a fucking vacation. Probably not doing that got my son and daughter killed because I didn't take the precious metals and go on the road. That kind of caused all this because I tried to stand up for my son. So fuck you. Which one of you pigs are in here? I'm going to take a break. Yeah, okay, we'll take a count here. You guys, this is bullshit, dude. They're going to lose tomorrow. They're not going to win tomorrow. Jury ain't going to convict me tomorrow. I have an attorney who will make sure that those fucking jury members know that the state has the burden of proof, and under manifest necessity, which I'll be reminding my attorney if I have to drive there in the morning, they have to have Elijah there. As I reminded him today, that's my Sixth Amendment right to have Elijah there. So he can say, Tracy, did you stop Elijah? Did your dad stop you? Well, no, he just told me not to stop. He didn't physically stop you. They can't have him there. They can't have Adriana, so they don't have conspiracy. He already told me that. And he can't have Elijah there. You have no fucking case. That's what my attorney said. That's why I said to you guys, remember, he knows what he's doing. If he needed to call me, I don't like this. I have faith in Father. I'd like to have my son there. As I reminded, my attorney said, you know, the state it's their burden of proof. I said, John, that's also my Sixth Amendment right. So you need to have, and why nobody's even, and I asked him today, I said, why has nobody called from your office to look at Josephine County? Remember, I reported to you, John, that my son was dead, John, and I said it in that same tone, and I reported the state police, and they won't go look for him, John. So as long as this takes, John, as soon as I get out of jail, if they're wrong, I'm going to go right back for looking for my son, and I'm going to beat this case, John. You know that. And he said, I know that, Tracy, you know, so bring it, fucking speak up, you fucking pigs. Who is it that you reported to fucking Paul Charez? Which one of you fucking pigs are in here? You got a lot of fucking balls to sit there and try to report to my attorney like a little bitch, like he's going to fucking quit at the last minute. Oh, your client's online bitching about you. See how weak their fucking case is? Fuck you, you fucking pigs. Fucking stupid pigs. All right, Sabrina said forward. Put your egg count. Well, that's the first. There were, all right. I've never done that. Did it once inside here, but there were 3 eggs, and look how light that one is. And I dropped one. I've never dropped one out there. You know what I'm saying? I've never dropped one. Out there, I've dropped one in here once, but I never did. And I leaned over and, I stepped back, and I had that chicken, I had the feed in my hand, and because I had 3 of them, and I always normally balance. So there were 3. But I busted the shell up and threw it back in the, fed it to the birds. They'll eat it. So 3 eggs. There was another dark brown one. Bad. So look how light that one's getting. She like the, we got one that lays pink eggs. So, anyways, give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hold on. So I'm gonna take a pause. It's gonna pause for a minute. All right, gotta take care of that. My bad. So, all right. So, yeah, apologies. Trying to get some dinner here. Make sure I got some. Whatever. I don't think I'm going to jail tomorrow. These people convict me. They're fucked. So, like I said, I'm not running from this, man. I've never run from this. These people will sit there and drop Adriana's charges 14 months ago for the same thing they're going to try to convict me of. Bullshit. I'm going to bring that up in federal fucking court. You don't think you think they're going to run from that? They dropped Adriana's charges for the same thing they're charging me. That I told Elijah not to stop the car. She said, no, go. And they dropped her charges back in September. That's why Dave Vandenberg's going to go to prison, because he could have dropped that no contact order back when I was telling him, pleading him to drop it. If he thought he had some case against me, or the district attorney who signed it at the time, Ted Martin, for interfering with a police officer or hindering prosecution, that's one thing. But the whole criminal conspiracy is a bunch of bullshit. And that's what caused, and that's what's going to convict Dave Vandenberg. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. He could have dropped that. My daughter's charges were dropped back in September. They should have dropped that criminal conspiracy charge against me. That's why there will be no criminal conspiracy charges tomorrow. They have no criminal because they cannot produce Adriana because they dropped her charges. Therefore, there is no criminal conspiracy. That charge should have been dropped against me back in September, and they didn't go look for Adriana. Dave Vandenberg is fucking liable for Adriana's death if she's dead, and for her fucking warrantless fucking arrest. And I told him that. I've made that very clear, that Adriana was kidnapped without warrant. So what are you going to do, Dave Vandenberg? Pat Wolke, it's your federal indictment when I fucking have you indicted and you cannot prove that you had a warrant. You didn't sign it from Ted Martin. There was no warrant from her arrest. Therefore, that is a kidnapping. Stand the fuck down. I ain't playing this no more, man. I got the goddamn attorney calling me saying the cops are fucking. First, he said the district attorney called and said you're online bitching about me, saying I'm not doing my job. So fuck which one of you pigs are in here. Once again, let's go right back at this shit. Checkmate, bitch. Drop Elijah's charges. I'm going to do this right at the fucking court. Drop Elijah's charges. I will not settle on this case. When my charges are dropped tomorrow, if they drop my charges, I will go immediately to the district attorney's office and have a fucking meeting with him. And I can prove over and over, I have tried hundreds of times to have a meeting, a de-escalation with this case, hundreds of fucking times. That's right. Ted Martin wouldn't meet with me. Remember, Paul Palmer, I asked and request that Ted Martin meet with me so we could sit down and try to de-escalate this case. No chance of that. Paul Charis, they reported to you that I'm bitching about my attorney, and you think that you're going to fucking call my attorney and he's going to drop me at the last second. You have no case unless you drop, because you currently, Paul Charis, are the one who has that open warrant for my son's arrest. Drop that warrant immediately. And I'll be filing a missing persons report with Josephine County, because Josephine County is the one that said that they last saw him on camera. Checkmate, Paul Charez. Checkmate, Sam Birch. Lance Brown, you got to be at court tomorrow, Lance Brown. You're the one who in this thing, so you better get a hold of Paul Charez. And remember, Elijah, I told you. Remember at the time I wasn't combative. I wasn't, when you arrested me, I was saying Marshall Radonich, because I thought Marshall Radonich is the one who killed my son. You didn't even investigate one time. So Lance Brown, you're going down too. You've had all this fucking time since you arrested me. Remember, you could have stopped for a minute. Wait, Tracy, hold on. Instead, you arrested me anyways. Remember, Josh Bezel, you watching here, you fat fucking pig. I'm calling you a fat fuck because remember, you couldn't get a job with the fire department, so you got a job with the pigs. I told you that. Remember when you drove me down to fucking county, you said, nuh-uh, fuck you, lying pig. I'm going to fucking take your bond. You, Josh Bezel, are going to be a separate case, might I remind you, because you're the one who retaliated against me. I can prove in a federal court that you prove, right, even if they convict me, that you filed retaliation charges against me. Remember, I went home, and once again, YouTube, you saw me on you fucking tube, but the 200 plus hours are not going to be brought in discovery. Checkmate. Remember, Tom, Don, Morgan, the two females. Remember over there in Lake County, all the 133, as I reminded my attorney today, Elijah's a very wealthy man. So is Adriana. They kidnapped her. And my son, they worked him like a fucking slave, John. That's what I told my attorney. So just letting you know, I'm on to your fucking asses, and you're not going to beat this case. I will beat you in federal court if you try to convict me in this county. It should have been a change of venue, as I already told Paul Palmer, because I can't get a fucking a proper judge bias, jury bias, political bias. As I reminded my attorney today, it's not just jury bias under change of venue. So I was saying that back how long ago? So checkmate. Which one of you are in here? Speak the fuck up. You guys are clowns. You're going to sit there and report to your fucking district attorney that I'm on here on YouTube, but you can't speak up now. I'm going to bring all this YouTube against you. Do you understand? That's why I'm here right now doing this video. And every hour that I brought into discovery will be brought up under your federal indictment. Brothers and sisters, I know they're in here right now. I just got a call from my attorney today saying that the district attorney said the cops, he first said that the district attorney said that I was on YouTube, griping that he wasn't doing his job. But then I got from my attorney that it's the cops reported to the district attorney. So which one of you fucking cops are watching? Is it still you, Sam Birch? I'm going to fucking federally indict you, because remember, you are the one who kept coming on here and saw me report that Tom, Don, Morgan, the two females, plus all the hours he did that. You're done, Sam Birch. And Lance Brown, why didn't you get out of the cop car that day and say, hey, I'm not fucking Sam Birch, I'm Lance Brown, because I was already trying to get you to de-escalate the situation. That day, 200 plus hours could have been avoided on, what was that, May 26th or whatever it was, the day that you supposedly pursued. There was no felony pursuit. You didn't get out of your fucking car. You didn't do shit. You didn't announce yourself as an officer. Bullshit. That day could have been avoided if you would have just come to this gate without lights on, sirens on, fucking trying to fucking SWAT team, guns, men, and just try to do this, resolve this peacefully. And look at Elijah's fucking 180 hours. They will be brought into discovery. You're not going to run from this. So which one of you pigs are in here? Speak the fuck up. Call my attorney today, 484-1066. You know the fucking prefix, and get a hold of John and don't have him drive out here tomorrow, and I won't sue this county. Drop Elijah's charges. If you don't drop Elijah's charges, I'm taking you to fucking trial. So I don't care if you just drop my charges. I will not fucking not take you to trial tomorrow. You have to drop Elijah's charges and my charges. And then I'm going to report to Josephine County immediately why they didn't go and look for, and that I want Pat Wolke brought up on why he didn't go fucking drop that case or stop that case today and take a recess and go, wait a minute. You said your son was killed and I'm a seated judge in that county. And then I want you, Dave Vandenberg. Did you call Pat Wolke? Because Pat Wolke said he didn't know anything about the case. And I'm pretty sure Dave Vandenberg called Pat Wolke and conspired with Pat Wolke. So that conspire charges that you had against me, you should have dropped. I'm now going to be putting you under conspiracy with Pat Wolke, and you, Dave Vandenberg, conspired. And I told my attorney today, Dave Vandenberg, that you're a fucking criminal. I told my attorney that today, just so you know, Dave Vandenberg, you're a fucking criminal. So you're not going to scare me tomorrow. I don't give a fuck what you do to me tomorrow. You better drop this under manifest necessity. You as the seated judge tomorrow can drop this. Are you listening to me, Paul? You can drop this because you can just do this because you're the fucking district attorney. You can file motion to dismiss charges, but they better dismiss Elijah's warrant as well as his arrest warrant as well as all his charges, all of it. Or I will be filing a lawsuit against Lake County, Oregon, civil. As I spoke to John and he supported me and told me, which I have, because you violated all my fucking rights. Due process, 8th Amendment, 12th Amendment, 5th Amendment, 4th Amendment. You took my 2nd Amendment. You've violated all my rights, and I can prove that in a civil court. And if you wrongfully convict me, which I reminded my attorney today, that I will be placing double the lawsuit against you because of a wrongful conviction. So stand the fuck down. Now, I will take a call tonight. Don't make me fucking drive down tomorrow. Brothers, sisters, you have my word. If they drive down there tomorrow, I don't care if they convict me. I already told John, the minute I get out of fucking jail, I'm going to go right back at this civil lawsuit. And I can file this in jail, even if they wrongfully convict me. So stand the fuck down. Who the fuck is it that's in here that's watching this live stream? It's either Sam Birch, Lance Brown, or fucking Josh Bezel. It's one of the three, brothers, sisters. It ain't any other officer. That's why I got you bitches. Do you realize I pay attention to detail? Fuck you. Which one of you pigs are watching? Sam? Or is it you? Lance? Or is it Josh? Speak the fuck up, you pigs. I'm going after every one of your bonds. Brothers, sisters, it ain't. Is it Tom? No, Tom's retired. Tom is going to be brought out of retirement. I'm going to go after Tom for his whole thing with fucking Angela out here. Angela out here off Arrow Gap. So remind Tom, because he shows up from time to time down in Lakeview, that Tom's not going to get out of this case with Cole Bergman. Remind Paul, or remind Tom of the name Cole Bergman. And then and Angela, and he'll go, oh shit. So get a hold of fucking him and get a hold of Michael Taylor too, because remember how many calls were made to Michael Taylor, the prior district attorney. You better get him and whoever this prior fucking elected sheriff is now. He should have called. Remember how many times did I get a hold of the elected sheriff try to de-escalate this situation before they ever SWAT raided this house and did any of that? See, I have hundreds of phone calls as well as the discovery of YouTube. They're going to bring up fucking YouTube again to me, brothers, sisters. That's it. I'm done. Fuck it. Fuck you. If you don't drop charges and Adriana's charges. I heard YouTube again today. Brothers, sisters. They said they're watching this channel right now. Fuck you, you pigs. Sam, Lance, or Josh. Speak up, you fat fucking pig. Is it you, Josh? I got a sneaking suspicion it's you, you fat fucking pig. Fuck you, man. You couldn't get a job with the fire department, so you get a job with the cops, you fucking cops. Just you're pissed off because I audited you. Did you put Sam up to it after that? Get a hold of Sam, say, hey, man, this guy audited me. And fuck you. I already showed my license and commercial driver's license, not willingly, but then you fucking pull me over again knowing you were at that traffic stop. I got your ass fucking dead to rights, Josh Bezel. I'm taking your bond. Count your fucking days, Josh Bezel. I'm not taking your work supply. You're flip fucking burgers or something. You got to make a living. You got kids, remember? I ain't trying to take your livelihood, but you won't operate as a community servant. You're a public fucking tyrant. So, Sam, listen, you're going to be there tomorrow. You better get a hold of the. You're like a fucking stand down little bitch. You know that, Sam? You didn't get out of the car that day. That way your fucking felony pursuit is not going to hold up in court. You didn't pursue shit. You didn't get out of the car. You didn't even announce yourself as a fucking police officer. And I was calling you Sam fucking Birch, and it was you, Lance Brown. You have to be there tomorrow, Lance Brown. Are you the one who reported Lance Brown? You better get a hold of him. Remember, Lance, because you've been watching this whole fucking thing since, remember, you've been on this case since when? Remember, I told you Marshall Radonich. That's going to sink your ship, Lance Brown. Marshall Radonich is going to be the one that sinks your ship. You listen to me. You listen to me, Marshall fucking Radonich. When you arrested me, put your fucking hands on me. Did I say that Marshall Radonich, Mount Creek, Oregon, and you never investigated shit? You didn't get a hold of the district attorney. You didn't get a hold of anybody to get a hold of fucking Pat Wolke. And why did not Josephine County go look for my son that day? Your ship is fucking sunk, motherfucker. You're just a fucking little leg. Like my attorney has said today, Tracy, they're fucking robots. They get a warrant. They just are like robots. So that's all you are. Hey, if you're not a fucking robot, Lance Brown, you better get a hold of that district attorney tonight and tell them drop Elijah's charges and my charges. I won't be coming after your bond. I'll know. I'll know it's you because I think it's you who fucking, well, no, I know you got, you're all conspiring. That's what I'm saying. I got conspiracy charges against you because you guys all remember you got duty phones. Just like I'm going to prove that you ran over my fucking property. You literally fucking battered me, assaulted me, fucking almost attempted homicide by calling the state of Oregon, and then later you run over my fucking property after you already destroyed. Will your duty phones and your cop cars be pinged to the end of my driveway? Yes, because you drove right back like an arsonist to the scene of the crime. You've forgotten I'm a reconstructionist. I took the forensic evidence. Remember? The tire width, the OD, the outside dimension, the inside, it's you. And how far it was from the pole, that was your push bar. I got you fuckers, you're done. And your duty phone is going to convict you. Your cars are fucking don't you realize your cars have GPS trackers on them, you dumb fuckers? You're going to prison. Whoever that was is going to go to fucking jail for fucking menacing me. That is menacing. You can't come out and just fucking run over my property. And then who do you fucking report when the cops are menacing you? And they've already charged you with menacing. So I got you, motherfucker, whoever that was, because I reported to Paul Palmer. And you, Paul Palmer, I'm going to take your fucking bar away from you. Whoever this Paul Palmer, Raphael Ahmed, we need to get to the bottom of who the fuck Paul Palmer that never gave me any counsel, who failed my right of discovery, right, to bring any evidence at all, and then did not even show up at my pretrial, who forgot to show up and then forgot to call and say that I quit months prior to him forgetting to show up to the pretrial. That's a Fifth Amendment violation of adequate counsel. The case should be dropped immediately. Are you listening to me? Just for the violation of Paul Palmer on my pretrial last time, it took a half an hour to get a hold of him, and he called in and said, I forgot to call in and I forgot to quit months ago. Therefore, I did not receive any adequate counsel for months. Case fucking dismissed. Paul Palmer, he better fucking quit. Who the fuck is this Raphael Ahmed? I want to know. I'll be seeking a separate fucking investigation against Paul Palmer. Would you like to speak up about that, Paul Charez? Because Paul Palmer is currently representing, and go ahead and drop the cases again. Drop the case right now. I got to do this for anyways against fucking Jason Sanquest, or fuck you. You hear me? Yeah, you hear me? And fucking remember what fucking you did, Dave Vanderberg, to fucking even you, Josh Bezel, after, remember? Josh came out to the property where, remember, Dave Vanderberg took, whose son did he take? Because he came out to this property. His phone will be pinged to his property. See, his child got taken away from him. Who is that? That's Gene. See, you guys ain't gonna run from any of this. Remember, Gene? I called you to come out with that property, which I have at Silver's Like Gold. What Gene did? You didn't follow up with any of that, huh? Another failure to call for service and investigate anything in this case, like you took Gene's son, Dave Vanderberg. Oh, you're done. All of you. I have evidence against every one of you. Do you understand? And so now Paul Palmer is representing, and I don't care to bring him up. Whatever. Fuck that. This dude stands up for the constitutional right of the people. So, yeah, Jason Sandquist, you don't drop his charges, Paul Palmer, on this current case you have against them, you're fucked too. He ain't going to fucking stop fighting you. He won't. I don't think he'll take a deal. I'm just bringing that up. Oh, you shouldn't bring that up in this case. Fuck you. Stop going after him. You guys are fucking tyrants. That man I've known for a long time, decades, and he just stands up for the right of the people. His actions aren't mine, but I'm telling you, this current case that you have against him, I'm going to bring up Paul Palmer, because I guess Paul Palmer now has a secretary. He didn't have a secretary when I called him. He wouldn't even fucking answer his phone call and go to voicemail. See, I'm going to bring in as called a witness in my federal case, Jason, to prove that now he does possibly have a, but when I had him, see, that's inadequate counsel. That's a Fifth Amendment violation. That this case should already be dropped. See, you're fucked. Anyway, Phil Studenberg did not provide me with any counsel, filed nothing, inadequate counsel. Phil Studenberg, done. No counsel. It took you 6 months to get me counsel after you kept me in your county jail instead of taking me to the fucking emergency room after grenading me and tear gassing me, grenading my son. You took all of us to fucking county instead of the emergency room to protect your ass. Any good agency would have at least had us all checked out. For whatever, it happened. They threw tear gas, they threw concussion grenades. You should, for your own fucking case, to justify, take us all at the emergency room to make sure that we weren't have concussed but oh, they're fucked, guys. They're so fucked. They didn't. Instead, they drug us all to the county jail. Paul, I told all this to Paul Palmer. He's fucked. I'm going to go after Paul Palmer too. I'll be finding out why Paul Palmer never did contact Josephine County and follow up with Josephine County to get the CAD call. Why did he not deny me call for service, right? Why didn't he follow up with Josephine County and contact the feds and say his passport was there? His passport was there. That's a federal offense. Remember, I called for fucking them to go look at Marshall Radonich to find out if that passport was sent out at Mount Creek. It's a teeny little tiny post office that does have a fucking recording of everybody who comes in that because it's a post office. But they never did that. Remember, I'm telling you, Lance Brown, Mount Creek, Marshall Radonich, you never looked in it. So speak up, you fucking pigs. Which one are you in here? Are you? You're afraid, little pig, little pigs. This little piggy went to the market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had roast beef. You fucking didn't say nothing, you fucking pigs. You called the district attorney and bitched that I was bitching about my attorney, but you won't show your fucking little slimeball asses in here. Speak up. Speak up, Lake County. You said it. I got you. You said it. So why will you not speak up now? Fuck you. You guys are fucking slime balls. I can't believe I live in this community and how you terrorize this community. You're fucking tyrants. You're drug dealers too. Yeah, you deal drugs to the fucking cops. Is that why? Oh, wait. Sergeant Rorick, huh? Why don't you just squash this whole bitch and we'll shut up about that? Okay? That's one thing I'll shut up about because I already put it out in Discovery. The feds will probably come out and figure it out themselves. Duty phones pinged. His phone already said, why is Sergeant Rorick at the fucking 2 drug dealers' town in houses? Why is his duty fucking vehicle sitting there for hours at a time sometimes? See, I'm not running from, I'm not afraid of this shit. Oh, don't bring that up, Tracy. No, I already told that to my attorney. Pissed off at me because you want to fucking run roughshod for the farmers out here. So leave it alone. Drop it and it'll all go away. I'll go out of the fucking country. Remember, if you convict me, I can't leave the country with the fucking with the criminal record. I don't have a criminal record. If you drop the case, I can leave. I already said I'd do that. I won't sign anything saying I'm going to leave, but I'll do it on my own. Watch me. Watch me. Because that's what I already said I was going to do. I'd like to go to Ecuador. I'd like to leave and take a vacation. I've been trying to help my son for fucking 5 fucking years. 5 years, and you've been harassing my son because you're pissed off at me. So which one of you pigs are in here? Lake County, speak up. You see, there were no balls. They're going to report YouTube once again. They're going to say YouTube, but tomorrow they're going to bring in to me to a trial where they didn't talk about the 200 plus hours. There'll be no YouTube SWAT raid. 258 hours before the SWAT raid. How about the 200 hours they could have de-escalated the situation? Come to this property and talk to me. Instead, they brought drones, SWAT raid. How many armored fucking vehicles were out here? You're fucked. You wasted this fucking fucking state wasted a shitload of money, and I'll hold you accountable, state of Oregon, for the money. I told that to my attorney today. You got a rogue fucking SWAT team that could think they could just grenade somebody in their fucking sleep without a warrant, John. That's a fucking assault and a battery, and it's a kidnapping. And I reminded my paid fucking attorney that it's a 25-year sentence to kidnap somebody without warrant. And if you do it with a gun, it's a life sentence. So we'll see how many of you fucking pigs that tailed the state police out here go to fucking prison for either 25 years or the rest of your fucking life. Because under civil fucking case, I'll fine you criminally liable, I'll serve bond, and you'll go to fucking jail. There's more than one way to skin a cat. I gotta do this. I'm a prior pig. Remember, it says it in your discovery. I'm a prior special weapons and tactics. Therefore, I know you can't hit somebody with a grenade. It's called, remember, under the use of force. I was not threatening anybody. I made it very clear for 200 plus 58 hours that I was not using weapons, that I was using my First Amendment right of speech, my Fourth Amendment right, affirmative defense to protect myself. As I reminded my attorney today, you fucking pigs, that my son is totally justified to protect himself under the right of affirmative defense, as I reminded him tomorrow that my actions in civil and criminal case are justified. It's called justification defense. It's your Fourth Amendment right. Excuse or justification defense. As I reminded my attorney, my actions in the case tomorrow are justified. Civil and criminal actions are justified to protect myself under the Fourth Amendment from a legal prosecution under the affirmative defense, excuse defense, and justification under my Fourth Amendment right of self-defense, the right to be secure, houses, papers, persons, and effects, the right to warrantless search or seizure. I know my rights. They're attacking me for asserting my rights. I will beat them in court. They're going to drop this case tomorrow, and if they don't, I will continue my pursuit to figure out where my son's dead and my daughter's possibly raped and murdered body. Remember, I reported that to you there, Sam or Lance Brown. So, Lance, it's possibly you, because I think it's got to be you, because you're the one who has to show up in court tomorrow. So speak up, Lance. Get hold of our Charas tonight. You're not going to beat this shit. You're not. You're only... I don't know if you were out there that day and followed them at the SWAT raid, but if you did, you're fucked now too. On the state, if they'll drop Elijah's charges and drop my charges, I will not. I'll sign something tomorrow that says I won't sue this county, but 100% I will sue the state of Oregon. And I will come after your bond, Lance Brown. I will come after your bond. You are bonded. You have forgotten that you are bonded. Under a civil lawsuit, I can sue your bond. And under habeas corpus, I'm going to have my son on his behalf and my daughter, which means you'll never work another fucking day as a law enforcement or community service officer. Am I trying to take your fucking livelihood? I think you got kids, Lance. I think you should do what's right. I think you should contact Paul Charas and say, hey, we fucked up. We assaulted this guy. We battered it. He's going to file the lawsuit no matter what. You should help yourself right now, as I reminded Sam Birch as he took me down there that my son had done the 180 hours plus the 100. He didn't listen to me. So Sam Birch, are you still listening here? Because I ain't heard a fucking single thing from you. Remember, you called my son that one time. You made contact, and I told you to stand down. He pleaded you to not bring guns. I pleaded you to not bring guns. I pleaded you to come here and talk. Instead, you went forward with your Ted Martin signed and Dave Vandenberg warrant. So you're going to fucking prison, Sam Birch. I will sue your bond too. And under habeas corpus, if I can't find my son and daughter under civil lawsuit, they will sue on their behalf your bond, and you'll never work a fucking another day in law enforcement either. You can flip fucking burgers or something. I'm not trying to think you got kids fucking too. I'm not trying to take your livelihood away from you fucking tyrant pigs. Remember, you told me that it's okay for people to come on and dox me and act like the Lake County Sheriff's Office and say they're going to bring a mental warrant against me. You told me that's legal. You're fucked once I bring this indictment against you. Remember, I recorded all of that, Sam Birch. I recorded all our conversations. And even under discovery, I have the right under, remember, the Trump shooter sat there for how many hours in the bushes? And then went 40, that is under discovery under, remember, cellular data. So I can bring that cellular data into discovery. You're fucked. Sam Birch, you are so fucking screwed. You are the one who's behind this too. I got you licked, motherfucker. You get off your knees now. You better get it the fuck up and call. This is my last live stream, brothers and sisters. I'm not live streaming. I go to court tomorrow. This is it. I'm not doing this out of fucking any way, shape, or like being irrational. These people they're not going to be able to produce my son and daughter tomorrow at my 6th trial. So therefore, their manifest necessity, they cannot produce witness. The state has the burden of proof. This case shouldn't even be going forward tomorrow. And if they do, it's a mistrial. And I already explained that to my attorney. So go ahead there, take me to trial, but it will be a mistrial. And I've already explained that to my attorney. He says, Tracy, you got this case beat. You didn't force your son or stop his son. You didn't, I'm not going to bring up what he said. He'll bring it up court tomorrow. That's why he didn't call me. That's what I said. I said, John, that's not what I said. I said, my attorney's been practicing law since 82. He's going to eat this fucking 30-year-old par charis for fucking breakfast because he ain't had no trials. John's been practicing law since 82. John knows they don't have, that's why I told John, well, then why the fuck are they pressing this any further? Because they already dropped my daughter's charges for the same thing they're charging me for. Well, that's what they keep fucking up. They keep violating my rights. So if they take me to trial tomorrow, they're violating my right of manifest necessity to produce witness. They can drop it, but they won't, right? So therefore, it's a Sixth Amendment violation to call to discovery under the right of suppression of evidence, right? Suppression of evidence and discovery. You cannot suppress evidence or at discovery for trial. They have to bring all the witness or evidence against me before trial. Each side, plaintiff and defendant, has the right to look over the evidence. Can't bring something up at trial. Hey, look what we got at Tracy. They're not bringing up anything tomorrow. And that's what I said to my attorney, John, I'm having an issue because there's no evidence in my favor. He said, you don't need the evidence, Tracy. You don't even need your son and daughter there because they don't need to be there. You didn't stop them. Or you didn't stop. They've already dropped Adriana's charges, so there's no criminal conspiracy charge. They can't do that anyways. Now they're going to charge you with hindering prosecution. You didn't stop your son. You didn't physically stop him. He could have said, whatever, I already talked about it. They don't have anything against you. That's why I said, well, John, no matter what, the state, remember, has the burden of proof, preponderance to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, which he said he would tell the jury that they can't convict me unless they have beyond a reasonable doubt, which they can't, don't even have my son and daughter. They're on my discovery. They're on my case. I told my son not to stop because he'd already done 180 hours plus the 133. They could have came here for weeks when they were driving and they were right here. And I have all that on video. I have them on video driving past my house instead of stopping and de-escalating and communicating. The state of Oregon brought a SWAT team and assaulted my daughter in her fucking sleep without a warrant. They're going to prison. Every one of those fucking state troopers is fucked. They don't even know it. So I told John, I'm like, John, do you realize there's a rogue fucking SWAT team out there just doing whatever the fuck they want? He said, Tracy, they're like robots. They get a fucking warrant. They just do whatever they're fucking told. I said, I know, John. I was a special weapons and tactics trained myself. But you can't fucking grenade somebody in their sleep. That's a use of force regulation violation. Therefore, that's a Fourth Amendment and a violation. And it's a cruel and unusual punishment violation. The Eighth Amendment, my daughter's right. That's a kidnapping, for Christ's sake. And these people are going to still push forward. They're so fucked. So everything they keep doing is continuing. So if they take me to trial tomorrow, it's automatically a violation of my Sixth Amendment to call witness into favor. Discovery, right of discovery and suppression of evidence, which I reminded my attorney today. They can't win this case. They're fucked either way. And every day they count this, they're going to be held liable. So I will file the civil lawsuit probably next week or this week, maybe this week. We'll see. We'll see what the fuck they choose to do. But it doesn't matter. I'm not going to lose this case. Even if I have to go to federal court on appellate case in a Supreme Court or federal court, I will take this case all the way. One day they will have to pay Elijah for the 133 hours that he did. And for the kidnapping of my daughter. Neither of them should be looking over their shoulders right now in fear. My son was shot with his fucking hands in the air. The state police, I want to know which officer threw the grenade in the motorhome and what officer shot him and what officer hit me in the face with a fucking grenade. And then I want to know how many different officers shot, how many different, because I know there were 5 on the SWAT raid that came through, and who has the fucking brass. Does Marshall Radonich have it? Because I was told Marshall has. What is Marshall taking fucking brass? Where's all the brass from my son being shot? Brrr, at least 10 fucking times with his hands in the air. I'm not standing down. Why am I not getting a phone call? Call my fucking attorney tonight. I don't want you to waste my attorney's time. If you waste my time and make me drive to Lake County tomorrow, the only way that I'm standing down tomorrow is if I get there at 8:30 and my attorney approaches me and says they've dropped Elijah's charges and they've dropped your charges. They want you to sign a clause that says you will not sue this county. That's it. That's it. Otherwise, I'll take whatever the fuck they give me. Period. I'm not going to stand down. Fuck no. I'm not standing down. I'm not going to do this shit. Bullshit. I got every one of these motherfuckers dead to rights. Not by vengeance, by accountability. It would be wrong for me to sit there and take a fucking deal and let these people get away with it. So we're going to do this. Tomorrow's trial, brothers and sisters. If they take me to trial, that's it. I'll file a lawsuit. I can file it in custody. I know that I can file my right of appeal in custody. I've gone over. I know my rights. So I don't know why I haven't gotten a phone call. Fuck you, you fucking pigs. Call my attorney and try to get him to bitch out and say, oh, your client's online bitching about you saying he's not doing his job. What kind of bullshit is that? You see how weak that shit is? What a bunch of fucking tyrant pigs, man. Sit there and call my fucking attorney and you know what I'm saying? What a fucking joke, man. That shows you how weak their goddamn case is, and offer me a fucking misdemeanor and no supervised probation. They better drop Elijah's charges tomorrow. I told that to John. I don't want my son to have to look over his shoulders. I'm not going to stop. When I beat this fucking case tomorrow, which I will, I feel confident in this attorney. And even if they wrongfully convict me, I already told my attorney everything I just told you. I'm not going to stop. They're going to have to fucking like take me in custody and kill me or something. And I'm not worried about that. Father, protect me. Let me get hit in the face with the fucking grenade and I'm still able to speak up. They're not going to stop me. And I'm not violence. Remember, I haven't brought violence. They're the one who brought fucking 20 plus men with guns and assaulted my daughter, assaulted my son when they were fucking sleeping. What a chicken shit bunch of fucking pigs. You guys are fucked. Whatever you pigs listening here, do you realize you grenaded my son and daughter while they were sleeping? Adriana, you know, if you had a problem with Elijah, but he wasn't violent and fucking, you know, I explained for 200 plus hours that there were no fucking weapons in that motorhome, that I'd even taken a butter knife from them. I wouldn't even let him because I didn't want him to get hurt. Instead, you just shot him with his fucking hands in the air. So I'm going to hold you accountable, state police, Lake County. Paul Charas, you better get the fucking this shit on the phone. The fucking drag ass motherfucker. Listen here. I'm not going to even go there. Why the fuck are you dragging your ass, Paul Charas? You could have dropped this already. So listen here, Paul Charas. I'm going to dress you fucking. I haven't dressed you fucking. You won't even look me in the eye when we go into court. Not one fucking time have you ever looked me in my eye. Drop the fucking charges on my son and my daughter. Now I'm holding you accountable. Do you realize how long I've been petitioning you to drop these fucking charges? I'm going to place you under fucking you dragging your ass of wrongful. You're the fucking goddamn one that's holding this case up. Tomorrow, Dave Vandenberg, under manifest necessity, can drop it, or you can drop it. Either one of you can drop these charges, but you better drop Elijah's charges. Because I'm going to go after you. Because how long have you now been dragging your feet? How long have you been the district attorney? How long have you could have de-escalated this? Back with Paul Palmer. Yeah, you're fucked. Paul Charas, you're fucked. You're fucked. My attorney's going to eat you for fucking breakfast. And I already said that. Yeah, instead your cops are reporting to you that your client's online saying that you're not doing it. That's how fucking weak your goddamn case is. If you don't drop Elijah's charges tonight, tomorrow, before I get there, I will fucking go after you too under civil lawsuit, Paul Palmer. Paul Charas. Because we're going to bring up Paul Palmer under the fact that you knew and Paul Palmer didn't fucking show up, remember, to court. You were there. That's a fucking right, a fucking Fifth Amendment violation of adequate counsel. I'm holding you that day, and it took a half an hour to get a hold of him on the phone, and then he said he quit, Paul Charas. months ago. That's inadequate counsel. And now you were the district attorney during that time. So drop Elijah's charges, because guess what? Now I'm calling you out, Paul Charez. I'm calling you out. Yeah, you, Paul Charez, because you could have dropped this case a long time ago, didn't you? Why the fuck? Who's calling you? Who's in your fucking ear, Paul Charez? You're going down too now, because remember, you could have dropped this fucking case a long time ago. You stepped in as the district attorney. You should have picked this case up, opened the fucking video, and looked at the 250 fucking 8 hours of discovery that Elijah did hit 180 hours and then did 133. That's why you're liable, Paul Charez. So drop the charges or you're going to fucking prison too. How long have you been dragging your fucking feet? I asked for a fucking meeting with you, Paul Charez, with Paul Palmer. I asked for a meeting with you to de-escalate this situation. You denied me, Paul Charez. You're fucked. You made no de-escalation attempt in this case whatsoever. You're fucked, Paul Charez. Yeah, you are. Remember when Pat Wilkie came in there? Charez, he didn't even know you're fuck you. You conspired. You two conspired. I can probably prove that through cellular data. Did you and Pat Wilkie have a conversation before that day? Or did he play fucking stupid in there? I got you, Paul Charez. I got you, motherfucker. I got you. You don't scare me. I don't give a fuck who you are. You should have stood down and looked at this case. And I told my attorney, I don't even think you've even looked at the fucking SWAT raid. You never even looked at the playlist. But the reporting to you, YouTube. How about the reporting of my son dead? My daughter dead. You want to talk about that tomorrow? Because you take me to fucking trial and you think that I go to, because remember, they can rest. My attorney will rest the case. You're going to put everything into discovery and then you're going to rest your case. And then if I choose to come in discovery and come into court, you don't think I'm going to bring up that you fucking under manifest necessity do not have my son and daughter there, and that you have the burden of proof to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, and that you cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt when you don't have my witness, whether John has them or you. No, you have to produce witness. You can't, because there is no, remember, discovery. The defendant, right, cannot, under the plaintiff, cannot, under discovery. Remember, I can't even call to witness. You can't even prove because you don't even have witnesses there. You fucking loser. You're gonna lose your fucking bar. Because remember, Paul Charez, remember, listen to me, you fucker, motherfucker. I'm telling you, when Paul Palmer said, oh, I forgot to say that I quit months ago and you didn't drop the case right there, that's why you're going to prison. Yeah, are you going to get disbarred or something? You got to be, what else have you done since you taken office? What has Dave Vanderberg got you dirty hands in? See, he's the dirty motherfucker, and because of you, you're some little fucking kingpin, huh? I'm on to this Dave Vanderberg. Remember? So Paul Charez, when Paul Palmer said, I forgot to call in months ago, that's inadequate counsel. That's a Fifth Amendment violation. You should have dropped that case right there. That's why you're fucked. Yes, think about what I just said. You should have dropped it right there. Paul Palmer said, oh shit, I forgot. Not only did I forgot to call in, I forgot to call and say I quit months ago. We won't even talk about when who was that? Oh, Wolke came in and said, you got to represent yourself and you violate. Oh, you said I only want to try this once. You should have backed off way the fuck back then. You're going to try it tomorrow and you're going to lose the case. No jury's going to convict me. You have the burden of proof. You can't even produce a fucking witness. And I'm going to bring that up when I get brought on the witness stand and bring up the right of affirmative defense. Elijah has the right of manifest necessity. Right? Yes, I'm going to bring that up. And my Sixth Amendment right to call witness in my favor, and no jury will convict me. And if they do, it will be a mistrial because you didn't produce under discovery any witnesses. You have the burden of proof. See, my attorney has the right to ask Elijah, hey, did your dad stop you physically? No, you can't even produce. And the whole time I've been reporting him murdered. I even reported that to Dave Vanderberg, to Pat Wilkie, and you were witness in open court. Paul Charez, when I said murder in your court, I said it and you heard it. You're liable, Paul Charez. You're fucking liable. See how you're fucked you are? You shouldn't have just been a little leg. You should listen to me. I have these rights. I know my fucking rights. So you're fucked, just so you know. And I don't care what happens to me. I'm not going to stand down. My attorney would probably advise to not do what I'm doing right now. I have nothing to fucking hide. Marshall Radnich said he was going to hide my son and daughter. And if you don't have my son and daughter there tomorrow, you're not going to beat this fucking case. And you know goddamn good and well I'm fucking right. So get with your judge there, Vandenberg, old fucking Chuck E. Cheese token, and tell him to drop it. You don't have to take this on. See, if you listen to me, nobody will listen to me, and you're fucking yourself every day. Under manifest necessity, I can't be tried twice. This will actually release you from a lot of liability. Just look into it, okay? I'm not fucking stupid. The word nice means to be stupid. I'm not nice or fucking stupid, okay? Look into it. All you in the chat, look it up right now. I'm not fucking around. Look up manifest necessity. If they cannot produce my witness, this judge can relieve this case, and so they can kind of release themselves, watch, from liability. This would probably be the best thing for them to do. Before I get there, I want to call at like 8 o'clock and before, because remember, actually you should call. If you make my fucking attorney drive all the way to Lake County tomorrow, I'm not going to stop. I'm not. Fuck you. The only way, you have my word, brothers and sisters, that if they drop Elijah's charges in mine, I will sign a release. Even if you make my attorney, which I don't do that, because I'm going to reimburse my attorney for his drive over here, because it's $500 an hour plus what I already paid him. I'm going to reimburse him for driving over here later when I file the civil lawsuit against you and I beat you at the state level and the fucking county level, because I'll sue at state level and all the bonds. I will reimburse my attorney. I'm not taking a bribe from him. I'm going to say, hey, you helped me out. You drove over here when you shouldn't have had to, and you know goddamn well. So see, Pat Wilkie is fucked. Dave Vandenberg's fucked. Now I'm talking to you, Paul Charez. I'm talking to you right now. Call John Caligo before he drives over here, because it's like Pat Wilkie, you're talking like a 4 or 5 hour drive, which means he's got to get up at 3 in the morning. So if I don't hear from you tonight, you're fucked. Just so you know, Paul Charez. And they're reporting you guys. I just want to let you know that the cops are in here right now because they reported to the district attorney in Lake County that my attorney's not doing his job. Fuck you, little bitches. You know what my attorney said? He reported that. He didn't fucking stop. He said he still got your asses beat. That's why he doesn't have to call any more fucking discovery the 208 hours, because I didn't stop my son. I didn't hinder prosecution. I didn't interfere with a peace officer. I didn't do that. That's why you dropped Adriana's charges already. You're fucked. So all these 14 months that you've held me after I'm going to call all these hours and all these. I didn't have to sell my precious metals, and you made me. Look at the price of precious metals when I sold them, and look at the price of metal now. I'm going to go after you for my fucking having to sell, and not only going to do that because I had to sell precious metals, which I have receipt of. I want the fucking price of metals today. Ain't about money. Fuck that. I'm going to put it all in. You SWAT raided a ministry too, a farm out here. You know what I do out here. It is. I can prove in open court that I am a pastor. There's thousands. If they brought in Discovery and brought up High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries and went through the comment section, pastor, this is a ministry. You came out and wrecked this place. Even my son had the right, under protection, because this was a ministry, to protect him from illegal prosecution. I already brought it up. I'm not even going to go into that, but this is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Yep. See what I'm saying? They're fucked. They're fucked, guys. You see what I'm saying? Look at what he said, right? Procedure error. It's an execution of the double jeopardy principle, which prevents someone from being tried twice in the same crime, which considers sufficiently compelling. See, what I'm trying to show you, Connection Scott, is that if they'll do this now, I can't go back and try him again. You know what I'm saying? This will finish it. This will squash this for them. If you see what I'm showing you here, right here. Look, I can't go back again. And even though it protects me, I can't go back. It's done. It's done. If this judge will be smart and not fucking stupid, this is the charges. This is what he'll contact my attorney tonight and say, hey, look, manifest necessity. We can't produce Elijah or Adriana. We can't prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Therefore, we don't want this, to go to trial twice as as Paul Char has said, I don't want to try this twice. And he said that he knows he's fucked because he's going to have to, if they don't produce Elijah or Adrian, they're screwed. I am not even worried about it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they're screwed, guys. They're fucked. They're fucked. They can't win this case. They're God. I knew that, and I already knew that, but you know, I'm tired of being raked for 14 fucking 16, 18, 552 days. I'm going to sue them now. And I already told that to John today. And he listened to me. He's a good attorney. And that's what I said to him. I said, John, my problem is I was saying, you haven't brought Elijah, or I reported you to the state police. And even today I reported him, but that's not his job. His job is to get me out of these charges. And they don't have a case to begin with. So they never even should have came out here and SWAT raided this fucking house. That's why it's a wrongful prosecution. I want to beat the fucking pants off these people. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I go outside these back. Yeah, like they made my son do it. So anyways, I don't, like I said, I'm not saying anything's going to happen tomorrow. What I'm saying, but I guarantee if they do, as I've told my attorney, if they push this, I'm going to not stop. I told him, I don't care, John. They're going to have to, you know, basically kill me to make me stop doing this. I shouldn't be killed because I'm trying to fucking help my son from them wrongfully convicting him. I told him, John, come on, this is over a fucking probation violation. They brought a SWAT team out here over a probation violation. Bullshit. They could have stayed down and fucking came out here, but they never even made any attempt. So they're fucked. They're fucked. I know it. I'm not even, like I said, I don't care what happens tomorrow. I'm going to beat the living fucking legally pants off this fucking state and county. And I'm going to be able to retire. I will. And it ain't about the money. Fuck it. I'm going to do it now. And I don't care. I'm going to speak it into existence. I'm going to sue the state of Oregon 100%. I will not back down. The state of Oregon hasn't contacted me. Fuck that. I want the docu cams, the body cams of every officer and find out which officer shot my son. Which officer grenaded my daughter in her sleep and arrested her without a warrant. That's kidnapping. Every one of those state police are going to be going to fucking face indictment of fucking kidnapping charges. You can't come take somebody's body, brothers, sisters, without a warrant. Right of due process. That is your Fifth Amendment right under your Miranda rights. They're going to fucking arrest your body. They have to have a signed judge indictment signed by a judge, by a jury, signed and judge, an indictment. And they didn't have that. They're fucked. That's a kidnapping. Lake County signed that fucking through. Ted Martin signed that fucking SWAT warrant. He's fucked. I'm going to make sure that Ted Martin is held liable. Somebody should call Ted Martin tonight and say, hey, look, this guy is fucking adamant about you're fucked, dude. He called your fucking, he had literally people from all over the world calling your fucking office trying to de-escalate this situation, and you chose not to. You went ahead with your SWAT warrant. And he literally has discovery because, see, fuck you, fucking lazy fucking pigs. Speak the fuck up. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to be in here anymore. Fuck these pigs. They called my attorney and said, oh, Tracy's online bitching that you're not doing your job. What a fucking bunch of fucking fucked up fucking tyrant pigs. I mean, seriously, brothers, sisters, this is the call that I get from my attorney today, which I told you, I think I told him, I said, John, I thought you didn't call me. I thought we were going to trial on Monday. So I wasn't happy that I didn't have any fucking discovery. Brought in, and I said, and I made the mistake and I went online and I said, no, he'll call me Monday. And if he needs to call me, he'll call me. If he needs evidence, he'll call me. He's been fucking practicing law. I'm not happy that there's no evidence, but he said he doesn't need it. John, go back and look at the thing. I didn't say, I said, I'm not happy the fact that my son and daughter have not been looked at, that you didn't call Josephine County. But I know, John, that you're hyper-focused and you know how to do your fucking job. And I said that, John, that you've been practicing law since 82 and you're going to eat fucking Paul Charis for breakfast because he doesn't have a case. So if you want to go look online, John, that's what I said. Yes, I don't have my son there. I don't agree with that. Why have we been not looking at the two? Why, John, have they not dropped this case? It's not John's fucking duty to drop the case. It's fucking Paul Charis, the one I'm going to fucking have put in prison too. So Charis, you're fucked tomorrow. You're fucked just for the fact that you didn't fucking drop the charges back when Paul Palmer forgot to fucking show up that day. You should have realized you were fucked right there. You were so fucked right there. And then to let fucking Pat Wolke come in and you witnessed that shit too, because I've got you on Discovery and I have that phone call fucking recorded that you that day fucking allowed the case to continue and you allowed Pat Wolke to threaten to throw me in jail because I was trying to report my son and daughter that you're not going to be able to produce tomorrow at my fucking trial. And he said he was going to come arrest me because I was reporting my son and daughter. You're fucked, Paul Charis. You're so fucked, Paul Charis. When Paul Palmer, that's when you should have dropped this case. When Paul Palmer said, oh man, I forgot to show up, call, and I forgot I quit. That's a Fifth Amendment violation of my Miranda rights to adequate counsel. You're fucked, Paul Palmer. Or excuse me, Paul Charis, you're fucked. That's why I have a case against you. Separate case individually against you, Paul Charis. Yes, I do. You violated my fucking rights. It's a fair and speedy trial. You should have dropped the case right there. I didn't get adequate counsel. You violated my Fifth Amendment rights. And I said that in open court. This guy fucking didn't even call in. And then he said he didn't give me counsel for months. He was absent. Inadequate counsel. Fifth Amendment violation. Drop the fucking case. You're fucked, Paul Charis. You're so fucked. You should have dropped the case right there. And then remember when you had Pat Wolke come in and fucking sit there and threaten me to arrest me? And I said, hey, that's going to be a mistrial if you don't produce Ryan Solberg. Remember? Sheriff Dumar, Officer Black. Remember? You better have everybody there, and you're not going to have anybody there tomorrow. What about Tom, Dawn, Morgan, the two females? What about the 180 hours? That's what I made my attorney let him know that, John, I'm going to be called to witness. I know they'll rest their case, but I'm not going to go on the witness stand and not talk about Elijah's 180 hours. These stupid motherfuckers think they can run from 180 hours. That's why he didn't stop the car. That's why I told him not, because not only did he do those, he did 133 hours. My son is a very wealthy man, John, and so is my daughter. They'll never have to worry again about, they'll be okay because of what was done to them, John. So fuck that. Paul Charis, you're fucked, man. Get a hold of John tonight and don't make him drive over here. You motherfuckers are watching my fucking YouTube. You brought up YouTube again. That's what I can't wait, brothers, sisters. They said YouTube again. They said YouTube again. They brought up YouTube, and I told you they were watching. So which one of you pigs are watching? Get a hold of Paul Charis. You make my attorney drive over here. It's $500 an hour. It's 4 hours, 5 hours over here. That's $5,000 for him to drive over here. You waste $5,000 fucking dollars in my attorney's time. I will be coming after restitution to go after you for that. You understand? So I'm getting a call. Oh, I gotta take this call, guys. It might end this call. Okay, it might end this call. Paul Palmer, I better get a call from 484-1066. I'm fucking taking your job too long. All right, hey, I'll be back. I gotta take this call.